Today we are going to study English Reader of class 5th. Okay. In English Reader we are going to study chapter 6 which name is The Universe. You all know about universe. Today we are going to study about universe in this chapter. Okay. Now we are going to start. In ancient time people were so filled with wonder and fear from the things which they saw in the sky. They gave them after the names of gods and goddesses and began to worship them. They made many interesting and fearful stories about them, which we know were not true. For hundreds of years, men have studied the bodies in the sky that we know so much about them. The most important body in us to us is the sun. Without the warmth and light of the sun, we cannot stay alive for a moment. Although the sun is many times larger than our own earth, it looks small to us because it is so many millions of kilometers away from us. You know how small an aeroplane or a kite looks when it is flying high in the sky. If the sun was only as large as your school, the earth would be as little as football. You use the you use on the playground. We do not need to say that the sun is very hot. Perhaps it will help you know how hot it really is when you learn that metal like iron and silver are found on the sun also, but they are not solid as we know them. In the sun, they are glowing gases instead. Nothing on the sun is solid. People who study the sun tell us that it is a great ball of hot gases. It does not burn but glows. The light is so strong from the sun that it is dangerous to look at it. Until you use dark glasses, you may hurt your eyes if you try to do so. No one can live on the sun because it is very hot. Its temperature is almost 6000 degrees Celsius all the time. Without the sun's light and heat, there would be no living things on the earth. The sun gives us light, warmth, and food. You already know that a seed must have warm sunshine to help it grow into a plant or tree. The plants and trees make their food from the sunlight. Our food, like wheat, sugarcane, potato, and all other vegetables and fruits, come from the plant. We get milk, meat, and fats from animals like the cow and the sheep and goats. By cows, sheep, and goats live on grass that once again must have the sun to make it grow. Long ago, plants and animals that died and remained buried in the ground slowly changed into coal, which we use in our homes and factories as fuel, help to generate electricity that gives us light. Coal is sometimes called buried sunlight. You have learned how the hot sun causes water to change into vapor, which is carried up into the air. When the vapor cools, it changes into drops of water, crops, and fall as rain. The rain that fall on the land gives water to plants or crops. It keeps animals alive and fills rivers and lakes on the ground. The sun, as it crosses the sky each day, gives us a way of telling the time. Before the invention of watches and clock, people used the sun to tell the time. They made shadow clocks or sundial that told them time on sunny day, but they were useless at night or on cloudy day. The sun's work is not done even after it seems to set or rest. As we say, it helps light up the moon and make it glow brightly in the dark sky at night. The moon has not its own light. It sends back to us some of the light it gets from the sun. Sometimes the moon shines on brightly that you can see everything clearly. The moon's light is cold and silvery. It makes the night beautiful, but it cannot put colors into the flowers and grass like the golden light of the sun. We do not always see the moon as a ball. We first see it as thin as in the western sky after the sun has set, which we call the new moon. The sun lights a part of the moon each night. It glows bigger and bigger until about 2 weeks later. It is all lit up like a large shining ball in the dark sky. We call this the full moon. Then it began to grow weaker each night, and we see less and less until it disappears for some nights. But soon a new moon appears again in the west. The moon travels around the earth in about 28 days. You already know it is a ball like the earth but much smaller. But we see the same side of the moon always. People who study the moon tell us there is nothing at all there except high mountains of rock and big holes called craters. There are no trees, flowers, animals, or people, no rivers, lakes, or seas, no wind or rain, not even air to breathe in. Nothing on the moon is alive as can live there. Besides lighting up our dark night, the moon is useful to another way. If you live near the sea, you must have heard people speak of the tide going out. The tide coming in the when it goes out, it leaves white beach, often covered with pretty shells. The moon caused these tides to sailors and fishermen. This is very important for ships come and go with the help of the tides. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered at the millions of twinkling stars? If you look closely, some appear to be twinkling all the time. It may surprise you to know that these stars are bigger, brighter, and hottest than the sun, which is one of our nearest stars. They are so much further away than the sun that they seem to be only teeny points of light. We do not see the stars during day, although they are still in the sky, because the sun, which is nearest to us, is so much brighter. The word planet means wandered. Our earth is also a planet. Planet wandered around the sun. They have no light of their own. They borrow their light from the sun as the moon does. If you would like to see a planet, look for the bright star and appears near the setting sun. It is often called the evening star, but it is not really a star. One true star that is useful for sailor, pilot and travelers at night is the North Star or Pole Star. It never seems to change its place. To find it, you must look in the northern sky for the seven stars that form a pattern of their own. The first two stars in this pattern point the way to the pole star. They are called the pointers. Okay, I hope you understand very well today this chapter. If you learn something, then you can subscribe this channel for more videos like this. Okay.